I wish these were Cheetos. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is actually a collab with Mel Extra, or Mel Extra. She is British and she moved to Canada last year, and she's gonna give you a few things on the struggles of a British person living in Canada. Whereas this video is the struggles that I had when I lived in America, and yeah, let's just get into the video. So I might be really upset because there's not Cheetos in this country because we have regulations on our food products. I love Cheetos. I really hope when I next see Eric, that also lives in America at the moment, he brings me 12 bags of Cheetos, please, Eric. But the next best thing in this country, we have salt and vinegar sticks, and yeah, that's one thing that America doesn't have. You can't get salt and vinegar crisps, or I was just probably looking in the wrong places, but here we have salt and vinegar everywhere, and that was definitely the main struggle I had when living in America. But the reason for this is probably because they don't have fish and chips. When I lived in America, I was studying and I had to go to a dining hall which was part of the university, and yeah, I got really excited when I saw fish and chips were on the menu, but no, it was like literal chips that you have like as a crisp. I wonder if Americans actually think that that's what British people eat, but no, it's proper chips, and that is definitely one thing I missed when I was in America. The next thing is that you can't really have a proper fry up in America. First of all, they don't have proper bacon. Like, they tend to really like crispy bacon, but here you go to Spoons or whatever and get a fry up, you get like big bits of bacon that has like maybe 10% fat on it, but no, the Americans really like their crispy bacon. Their sausages are essentially like chipolatas. You don't get a proper big thick sausage like you do here in Britain. Also, you don't have baked beans. This is definitely one thing I missed when I was in America. I love beans, I love good fry up, and yeah, if you don't have the right bacon or sausages, and if you don't have beans at all, then you can't have a fry up, and what you're supposed to eat when you're hanging out your ass. Next up is actually a positive one, if you can call it that. America has way more fast food restaurants than we do here in Britain. We tend to have McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, and we have the occasional Taco Bell. I think last time I checked there was like 3 in the country, but maybe there's more now. And obviously, as you can see, I lived in California, and yeah, there is In-N-Out there, and that is literally the best fast food place that I've ever been to. It's way better than McDonald's. But I did actually do a video a few months ago of comparing the fast food restaurants in America when I was last over there.
Can I get a cheeseburger? And can I get some fries?
Okay.
With some onions.
Alright.
And some sauce.
Yeah, go check that video out. That is also linked down in the description. So that's the final points for food. Now let's go on to toilets. Why are American toilets so big? I mean, the toilet is like an average sized toilet, but the bowl where the water is like, there's so much more water in that toilet bowl than in a British toilet bowl. And I don't understand this because you get major splashback. I also think that the toilets are way more advanced than they are here. You could just be sitting on the toilet and you move slightly and it just flushes whilst you're still on it. But yeah, they have automatic sensors. Here well, I mean, in some places you still have the old-fashioned chain that you have to pull. I think there's always a toilet situation when you do go abroad. Mel did actually do a whole video on the Canadian toilets compared to British toilets.
There is it's higher up. It's a lot higher up.
And that video will also be linked down below. So now we're gonna go on to roads. There is a thing in America called jaywalking. Don't know what the J stands for. In fact, I'm gonna search it now. Ah, it's actually J as in J-A-Y. I thought it was just a J. But yeah, this means walking across the road whilst the light is still red, or walking across the road when there's not even a pedestrian crossing that you can walk across. One of my friends actually did this when he first got to America. He is also British, and he did this, he jaywalked, and there just so happened to be a police officer, and he actually stopped him. And I think you get a really bad fine for jaywalking, but he had to explain that he was a British citizen and he had only been there for, I think, a day. Yeah, he got let off, but he did actually have to prove that he was British and he had to show his visa and things. But yeah, that's definitely the worst way to find out what jaywalking is. The reason that they probably do have this law is because cars can just turn on a red light. And when I was driving in America, this was the thing that stressed me out the most, because there are certain rules where you can turn right on a red light, but also there are certain rules where you can't turn right on a red light. I don't know, I found it really hard when I was driving around in America. But I do actually think that the rule of turning right on a red light is really good, because it keeps the flow of traffic going really well. Whereas here, I don't know, I get really annoyed when I have to stop for a red light and there's no one there. And yeah, if I was in America, I could just turn and I'd be at my location 30 seconds quicker. Another thing about driving in America is that they mainly drive automatic cars, whereas here we drive stick. There are pros and cons to driving stick and driving automatic, and I'd say with automatic then you don't have to do hill start, because that's where in this country, when I do it, I always roll back because my car's not very powerful. But the other thing about driving an automatic is that when you want to overtake, it's really hard to, because obviously here you can change the gear down to like a lower gear so you can pick up speed faster. But in an automatic, you just have to put your foot down and you just slowly go past the car in front of you. But maybe I was just driving a really bad car, because in America, people drive like maniacs. No, that's a lie, but it was mainly in LA that I found that people do drive really bad on the highway. I got so stressed because there are no such thing as lanes. Well, I mean, there are lanes, there's like 10 lanes across the whole road, but here we have slow and fast lanes. But in America, they ignore that rule. If it is a rule, they definitely ignore it. And there are cars in LA that will just go in and out between all of the lanes and speed off. Oh god, that really stresses me out. So going away from roads now, because I think I've said enough about how much roads stress me out in America. And this point is guns. Obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious to an American, but here in Britain we do not have guns. Oh, I think you can do if you're like a farmer or something and you need to go through a lot to actually get a gun legally. I don't want to put my political stance on this. Fuck it. The gun law scares me. When I was in America last time, I was confronted by someone in a store and he held a gun to us. He held a gun to me, my son and my partner. And this was one of the most scariest experiences of my life. I explain a little bit more in a vlog that I did whilst I was in America, but yeah, the gun wasn't loaded or anything and the guy just seemed a little bit crazy. Well, he definitely had something wrong with him, and yeah, it wasn't loaded and he was kind of like showing us it but like pointing it at us at the same time. And yeah, I was scared for my life. But if you want to go check that video out as well, that is also linked down below. Thankfully, we weren't shot because in America, healthcare is not free. I mean, this wouldn't have made a difference to me anyway, say if it was like in the UK and I was an American coming to the UK, because I don't think you can use the NHS service here. I'm not sure, but either way, if I was shot in the UK, I don't know, I'd go to hospital for free and it'd be all okay. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be okay, especially if I died. But yeah, those are just a few of the struggles that I had in America. Please, Americans, don't come at me. I absolutely loved living in America. I only have ever lived in California. If I could, I would live there permanently. But make sure you subscribe, because next month I will be revealing where me and my partner Eric and our son Edward will be living. So I hope you can come and join us on our journey. Don't forget to go check Mel's channel out, and yeah, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.